Hey everybody, Will Campbell here with the Campbell Group in Royal LePage Atlantic, and in this video we're going to talk about the 5 best tips that I can give you to make sure that your offer has the best chance of getting accepted. Alright, first of all, I just want to apologize in advance. If I sound or look a bit funny in this video, it's because I just had my wisdom teeth taken out yesterday. And there's still a bit of freezing and swollen going on. So if I start drooling at some point in this video, just try your best to ignore it. All right, so we all know that buyers are having a hell of a hard time getting their offers accepted right now. And so are us realtors. I like to consider myself among the top percentage of realtors in the city, but even me, for example, I'm batting about 2 for 20 to start this year. Meaning that since the beginning of January, I've written just over 20 offers and I've only had 2 accepted. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, Will, you must be really bad at your job if you only have a 10% succession rate. But after talking to most of the agents that I work closely with at my office and other offices around the city, pretty much everyone's experiencing something around the same thing. So in this video today, we're gonna go over the 5 best ways to make sure that the offer that you submit has the best chances of getting accepted. Number 1, include a personalized letter. So what I mean by that is a brief letter that you attached from you to the homeowners at the beginning of your offer. This letter shouldn't be long-winded. You should not go into a whole lot of detail on how you feel and how stressed out you are, because all you're gonna do is pass on negative emotion to the homeowners and they're not gonna wanna deal with you. A brief introduction of yourself, letting people know what your motivation is for moving, letting people know your backstory, where you came from, and letting them know what you enjoyed about their home that made you want to write an offer is a great way to start off the presentation of your offer. Now, don't get me wrong. If your offer is for $440,000 and the seller has an offer for $460,000, the odds that your personalized letter plays any role at all in their decision-making are slim to none. Now, what we see happen a lot though are ties at the top. So I might receive 20 offers. Of those 20, 12 of them aren't even in consideration. 8 are strong, and then normally of those 8, 2 or 3 of them are very similar and they're at the top. So if you have an offer submitted for $440,000 and the top offers for $442,500, there is a chance that your personalized letter may play a role in that seller's decision making, and they may opt to take $2,500 less for their property in order to make sure that it goes to somebody that they think is going to get the most enjoyment out of it. Tip number 2, get pre-approved. A lot of people don't know what a pre-approval is. A lot of people think that when they go in and get a pre-approved, that they are approved for a house, that all they have to do is find a house that's within that pre-approval range and it's an automatic pre-approval. Pre-approvals aren't worth a whole lot, but what they show to a seller is that you're serious. You took the extra step of going and meeting with somebody and giving them your documentation to make sure that you had everything in line before you went out and looked at the house. It just shows that you're on the ball. There's less chance of something happening down the road that will kill the deal, and it will boost the seller's confidence in you as a potential buyer. Oh, whoa, I almost forgot a tip. Actually, so I'm gonna slide this one in here. We'll go tip number 2.5, and that is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know you guys are sick of hearing it from me, but please hit that subscribe button if you find this beneficial. There will be more informational content that I post out on a weekly basis, and the more content you get access to, the better your chances are of being successful in this real estate market. Tip number 3, be flexible on closing. Do whatever you can do to make sure that when you're buying a property, you can close at any time. Now, I'm not saying make sure that you're flexible so that you can close 12 months down the road or that you can close in 3 weeks, although that would be nice. But typically we see closings anywhere from 6 to 8 to 12 to 24 weeks. And the last thing you want is to find a home that you absolutely love, that the closing date just doesn't work for you. And if you proceed to write an offer on a property that has a less than satisfactory closing date for the seller, the chances that even if you are the highest offer in terms of a dollar value, the chances that they go with somebody else are still quite high. Tip number 4, ignore the asking price. The asking price should only be factored into your decision when you're deciding whether or not it's worth your time to go view a property. But when it comes down to deciding what number you want to throw at that property, Asking price means absolutely nothing. There's one pet peeve that I have in the real estate industry. It's when people continue to refer to things as how much they sold over asking. Asking price is a figurative number determined by the seller and the seller alone. It has no bearing on what the actual market value is of a property. And oftentimes, as we can see, it's not even close to what the market value is of certain properties. The best tip I can give you is to ignore the asking price, do your own research to determine what you think the market value is of that property, and then present an offer that's as close to that market value as possible. P.S. Sometimes paying more than the market value isn't a bad idea. And tip number 5, request the fewest amount of things as possible. Anything that is not an absolute must-have for you, do not write it in your offer. If you'd really like the kitchen set that they have, but it's not a deal breaker for you, do not request it in the offer. If you really want to see utility bills before you buy the property, but you're committed to buying it regardless of what those utility bills show, don't include it in your offer. Request it after the fact. And on a side note, I'll say that I've been selling real estate for almost a decade in Halifax, and not once have I ever had a utility bill kill a deal. I've heard of it happening, but I've never seen it. Make your offers as clean as possible, and that will be the best way to make sure that your offers are accepted. So to recap, 5 tips. 1, include a letter. 2, get pre-approved. 3, be flexible on your closing date. 4, ignore the asking price. And 5, request the least amount of things as possible. Take all those 5 things into consideration when you're writing offers, and I guarantee that you will outperform the market average and you will have more success than your opponents in this market. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I would love to get your opinion on what you think of the 5 tips, whether you agree or disagree with them, whether you've had success with anything outside of these 5 tips. Leave a comment section below. I would love to get your opinion on this. That's gonna do it for this week's video. So until the next one, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Peace and love.